It starts off slow. You don't even recognize it at first. But before you know it, you have 17 Google certifications, 5 LinkedIn learnings, and 3 certifications from Coursera, of which you have no idea what to do with it. I'm Ashley. I'm the lead mentor for Mentor Me, and today we're talking about the credential creep. This is an insidious phenomenon that I see really infecting women and high achieving professionals across all industries. And it's this desire to want to earn a degree, a credential, a certification, a training certificate around all these different areas and have literally no idea what to do with them. You don't really know where to put them on your resume. You don't know if you're supposed to add a LinkedIn badge. You don't know how they're driving outcomes in your career, but you continue to collect them because you don't know what else to do to advance your career. And so you're like, well, while I'm in this place where I don't know what to do, where I'm in this place where I'm not getting the callbacks from employers, while I'm in this place where I'm unhappy in my work, at least let me collect an additional credential. And I'm here to tell you that this strategy that you are applying to your life and to your career is not working. And in fact, it's likely distracting you from the work that you actually should be doing to make more money and have more impact in your career. And we want to avoid these distractions. We want to interrogate these distractions. We want to question and eliminate these distractions, because these distractions are costing us time and money that's not promised to any of us. And so instead of going to get another degree, another credential, another certification, another certificate, off of a website that may not be credible and that's not going to add any value to your actual ability to advance your career, let's talk about some strategies that you really could be and should be doing to actually advance your career in meaningful ways. If this is a conversation you need to be a part of, if you're like, Ashley, you went live for me, I'm like, if this is something that's resonating with you, just throw some hearts up on the screen. I want you to know that I see you, that I hear you, that I understand the pain of feeling inadequate and feeling like, well, I guess I just need to collect another credential because I don't know what else to do. Because today we're going to actually talk about some strategies on what you could be doing. So I've taken some notes here in my notebook and on my screen. So if you see me looking away, that's what I'm trying to gather my notes, and I'm going to talk you through some strategies to address this. So number one, let me be very clear about this. There is nothing wrong with you having a degree. There's nothing wrong with you going back to school. There's nothing wrong with you entering into a certificate or certification program. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have no issue with that. I myself have a PhD in educational leadership. Who am I to tell somebody don't go back to school? I literally, in addition to running Mentor Me full-time, work full-time in higher education. I believe in education. It is the great equalizer. Education literally saved my life. Like, don't nobody believe in education more than me. Like, believe it, achieve it, excited for you. And the mistake, right? The mistake that I often see is that professional women are deciding that stacking credentials is more important than stacking influence, than stacking impact, than stacking money, than stacking doing meaningful work. Like, I think that what I'm starting to see is this credential creep, right? And that's why this live is titled this. I'm starting to see this credential creep where it seems that like professional women have been bamboozled into thinking that if I just go back to school, if I just get another credential, if I just take this 6-week certification course, then everything in my career is going to be better. And they're not thinking about how they can use the skills, knowledge, talent, and expertise that they already have to earn more money and have more impact in their career. And if they did think about that, they don't have a strategy to actually achieve it, right? Like, maybe you're like, actually, listen, I be thinking about how I can use what I have to get what I want, but I don't know how to use what I have to get what I want, right? If that's true for you, that's a sign that you would benefit from mentorship, because my mentorship is literally designed to help high achieving professional women use the skills, knowledge, talent, and expertise that they already have to drive massive impact in their careers and earn more money. And so, whether you've had that idea in your head or not, I want to invite you to act on the idea, right? Act on the concept that I can use what I have to get what I want. Because once you start to believe in yourself like that, once you believe and accept that radical truth, and it is true, like I'm here to tell you, you can absolutely use what you have to get what you want. But if you commit to that radical truth, if you commit to that truth, if you commit to that knowing, if you commit to moving in a way that would make that true, then you can really realize more satisfaction, more fulfillment, more joy in your career. And I think often instead of committing to the truth of I'm going to use what I have to get what I want, we commit to the untruth of, well, maybe I should just go back to school. Maybe I should just get another degree. Maybe I should just get another certification. Maybe I should enroll in this 12-week project management certification so that I can say I'm doing something. And sometimes our egos has us like really committed to being busy. Our egos is like, well, let me get another piece of paper. Let me, at least I'm doing something. I'm not stagnant. Girl, you stagnant. You getting another credential does not mean you're not stagnant, right? Like the opposite of stagnant means you're moving, but it doesn't just mean you're like moving, like you're standing in place. When you're only just getting another credential, getting another certification, getting another degree, that's still stagnation. You're just moving in place. What your career really needs right now is to move, to have a massive shift with strategy and support. And that's what I offer in mentorship, a massive and significant shift, because you've been job searching for weeks, for months, maybe even for years. You've been collecting certification after certification, degree after degree, credential after credential, and not seeing any movement. But instead of kind of staying in the same place, doing the same thing and expecting a different result, my role as a mentor is to actually help you avoid the credential creep, stop going after different certifications and trainings and, little, ego pads, things that pad your ego, and actually learn how to use the skills, knowledge, talent, and expertise that you already have. And I think that the reason why it's so important to use what you have and to leverage what you have, one is because it's advantageous for time, right? None of us have time to waste. None of us have all day. None of us want to wait till forever to advance our career, to have a fulfilling career, to make the kind of money we want. You credential chasing and falling for the credential creep always has you waiting as soon as I finish this certification, as soon as I graduate, as soon as I do this, right? It has you credential creeping. And it doesn't really invite you into the action of now. It doesn't invite you into the action of doing the work that you desire now, right? And so I invite you to use what you have now. Using what you have now ensures that you don't have to wait till your next degree. You don't have to wait for another certification. You don't have to wait till you get your next your training credential. You can actually just use what you have now. And certainly if you're a lifelong learner, if you believe in education, if it's free, you can decide that once I get into my new role, I can start a new certification. I can take that training course. I can dive into that certification, right? But we want to start with using what we already have. It's wasteful. It is wasteful to be collecting all these degrees, all these credentials, all these certifications, and don't know how to use none of them. Don't know how to do nothing but put them on the bottom of your resume and hope somebody see it. Right? Like, what is it doing for you besides padding your ego? And let me be clear that the ego is a real thing. We have to contend with our ego. But your ego should not be driving your career decisions. Let me repeat that. Your ego should not be driving your career decisions. If you are constantly seeking and searching for degrees, credentials, certification, training courses, you're letting your ego guide your decision-making in your career. And that's a slippery slope. That means that you are on the credential creep. I want to invite you to interrupt that, right? We want to interrupt that and actually begin to use the skills, knowledge, talent, and expertise that we already have. And maybe one of the reasons why you're falling for the credential creep is because you don't believe that the work that you do currently is valuable. You don't believe that your skills, your knowledge, your expertise is adding any value. Maybe you've been working in an organization that doesn't value you. They're paying you beneath the level you desire. They don't see your work as valuable. They don't honor you and your expertise. They don't have any good things to say about you. Your last couple of reviews have been mediocre. That doesn't mean that you aren't doing valuable work. That doesn't mean that you aren't making a major contribution. It may mean that your current organization isn't valuing it at the level that it should be. But you want to avoid letting someone else devaluing you, have you devaluing yourself, and then have you devaluing yourself to the next employer. That credential creep isn't just about creeping to get more credentials and certifications. It's also about you beginning to believe that the only value you have is through a credential. You are worthy, period. You are valuable, period. And I want to invite you to honor your value, to honor your worthiness. And don't let a credential or a certification or a degree define you. But instead, to let the outcomes, the impact, the results of your work define you. And if you need help with that definition, if you've been struggling to clearly, confidently, and concisely articulate the value of your current expertise without just adding some more letters to your name or adding, a credential to the bottom of your resume, then that means I'm the mentor for you, because I'm going to help you do that, right? I'm going to help you learn how to use what you have to get what you want. It's not just a saying, use what you have to get what you want. It's actually a skill set, and I teach that skill set in my mentorship programs. I'm accepting new mentees right now, and I want to invite you into a conversation with me so we can talk about your career this week. My calendar you can find on my website. It's at mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org. You can click on my website right at the top. It says get access to mentorship now. You click on it. It'll put you on my calendar for us to schedule a call. It's an opportunity for me to learn more about you, learn more about what's working well in your career. If we mutually decide that it's a good fit, we'll go ahead and get you onboarded into a mentorship program so that you can get the help that you need right away. You don't have to delay. You don't have to get another credential. You don't have to wait till you finish school. You don't have to do any of that. We can use what you have, and I'm here to help you do that. Thanks so much for watching today's live. I'm so excited to help you interrupt the credential creep in your life and in your career. And I'm excited to mentor you. So make sure you schedule that call so we can talk about your career development. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.